Hi, I'm immigration attorney John Kasravi of the Immigration Lawyer's Toolbox. Last month I had a segment that was very popular and discussed the books that I'd been reading the month previously. So I just put some of the books that I've read together since then together, and I want to share it with you to give my ideas on what stuff was good and what stuff to think about. I'm going to go through our list here. One tip I want to give people is I now have a monthly budget where I use, and it's an open-ended budget really, to go on Amazon, and whenever I hear about a book, to buy it. Because what I used to do is whenever I hear about a good book, I would find the Google page on Amazon for it, save it to refer to later, and now I have this bookmark page of like 1,000 books I've never read. So I decided to get things done. As soon as I hear about a book that's good, I just say, you know what, I'll go buy it immediately. I used to go to the library's website so I could borrow it for free, and so that way my budget would be more controlled as to buying all these books. But I found that I want to write in the books, I want to put dog ears on the books and make notes and have it for reference later, maybe have my kids read it when they're older and see my notes in there and get help like that. So I started just purchasing these books on Amazon, trying to get maybe paperback versions, because I buy almost 10 books a month. It keeps adding up, especially when it's hardcover books that are new editions and all that kind of stuff. But the library is a good free option that you can use. But the other thing is try to just get the books whenever you hear they're decent enough to read and read them to the best to the best extent possible. Sometimes they're boring, you want to stop, but it's better to get it and read some of it than to not read it at all. The benefits you get from these books are extraordinary. So the first book I wanted to reference is a book by a guy named Seth Godin, and he's a well-respected marketing branding person. The book's name is The Dip. And in his book, one of his general ideas that he talks about is for marketing and branding and doing on a personal, new type of level. And I love that kind of stuff. And I watched a lot of his videos on YouTube, which are helpful. But I just got this book. It's a quick read called The Dip. Now, it's kind of repetitive. It's like the same idea go over and over again to drive the point home in 80 pages. But the idea is that when we're starting something new, at first it seems kind of easy. We're going forward, and if you're an immigration lawyer, at first it seems easy enough. You're just filling out some forms. But then you hit a dip and you realize how complicated it is, and it's this hard, difficult climb you have to go through to get to where you have an understanding of it and a mastery of the topic. And the idea is, one, if you hit this level, keep pushing through it, because as you're going through it, other people are dropping out. But also be careful, because you don't want to enter something and go through this hard period of time, then realize it's not something you want to do, because that's horrible. You just wasted a lot of time and energy doing something. So know when to quit too, and that's the important part of this dip process. I dog-eared a lot of parts about this, but I would say, yeah, it's a quick book to read. I don't think it's too expensive either, or you can find some notes online, or maybe use a PDF online of that as well. So that was the first book. The second book is called The New Billable Hours, from a colleague, Ritu Goswany. She's an immigration attorney as well, and I was referred to us by a listener and a viewer who had watched the previous video to say get this book. So I got it. It's very interesting. It talks about a personal mindset as lawyers, and especially as immigration attorneys, during this terrible times we're going through with regards to how immigrants are treated, how the law is, how difficult things have gone. It creates a lot of internal stress. So she gives ideas about how to relieve yourself of that inherent stress, how to put time for yourself, and have this 1 hour of time set up, that lets you focus on yourself to overcome the stress that's in you, so you can be a better person and a better practitioner. So it's a very interesting read. The third book is called Client Acquisition Blueprint by Hugo Fernandez. Hugo is a great, SEO, marketing, branding, online person. And I got his book. It was a great book. I recommend this one. It goes over a lot of branding ideas, and although all I do is, as you've seen the books I talk about, I think about it and I read about this kind of stuff a lot, of marketing, branding, sales, all this kind of stuff. In addition to just immigration law, you always learn new stuff. And I have all sorts of notes I've taken here. He talks about how to do your logo, thinking about that kind of branding. It talks ideas about where to get free photos and videos to put in various marketing material that you're doing, the font to lose, in the identification of your name and all that kind of stuff. And it's a very interesting read. I definitely recommend getting this one and reading it. The more of these you read, the better. Again, a lot of this stuff's going to be overlap, but you get these nuggets of gold in there that's going to help really make you think differently about what you're doing. For example, it even goes through here how much of your marketing budget should be spent on, how much of your budget should be spent on marketing and branding. So that was an interesting thing. The last two were my two favorite books, and this one's kind of rough around the edges. It's an original version of it. It's been redone, but it's a book called Winning Through Intimidation by Robert J. Ringer. And so he wrote a couple of books that are bestsellers after this too. And the name itself seems kind of overwhelming. Winning Through Intimidation, that's kind of a weird thing. And it's not really about intimidating people. The title is made like this, but it's a very important issue, and that's a lot of people are not successful in the world, not because they don't work hard or put time into it, and even they know the right people or wrong people, all that kind of stuff. They get intimidated out of getting what's theirs. And so he's a real estate broker, does commercial real estate, but he says this book is more than just for commercial real estate. But he gives examples of how in deals and in negotiations, he would originally get the short end of the stick because of the fact that he would, defer to other people and let them intimidate him out of getting what's his. Because he's seen in the world of business, people will get every piece they can if you allow them. So he's like, don't be intimidated. If anything, try to intimidate them so you get what's yours and what you've worked, and don't sell yourself short in that way. And that came really important as an immigration attorney. A lot of other immigration attorneys listen to this, even lawyers in general and business people. Is that when we're about to say what our costs are, a lot of times we may discount it. We might say, okay, I'll give him a lower price because I might not get this client, or maybe it's too much. And we have these self-intimidating factors that we do. But remember, if you spend a lot of time on this, you invested the time in law school, invested time after that to study the law, constantly go and learn about it, go to meetings, CLEs, all this kind of stuff. You're spending a lot of time being a master of what you do, so you deserve the costs and the amount that you charge. So don't self-intimidate, which is what I found myself doing a lot of times, where I have a client there and they're even well off, money's not an issue, but I keep self-intimidating myself to a lower price, and I always say, never do that. Think straight about it. You know your value. If that doesn't work in this case, let it go. And there's a confidence and a acceptance that clients will have when they know you're confident enough to say, this is my price, take it or leave it. And if they take it, God bless you, work together. If they don't, God bless as well. You can find another practitioner that can help you at the cost that you're looking for. But if you want the level of sales and level of care and expertise that my office can provide, and the experience, then this is the price that's required, and that's what we have to deal with. And don't self-intimidate yourself or have the client intimidate you, try to haggle and negotiate a price down if you don't believe that's proper. And the final book, and I did a book review on this. If you're in the Immigration Lawyer's Toolbox, you can see a half an hour book review. A book that's called Little Black Stretchy Pants. It's a funny title, but it's from the founder of Lululemon. The founder of Lululemon, his name is Chip Wilson. And Chip Wilson's a very interesting guy. Actually, the cover of the book are these pants. If you go to the back, it has the name. So the pants are the Lululemon books with the Lululemon pants with the logo. And this is a semi-autobiography and business book. And I definitely recommend it. Again, if you're in the Immigration Lawyer's Toolbox, there's a breakdown of all the notes I took that are relevant to our practices. But this gentleman went through a lot to develop this company. First, develop other companies, and then develop Lululemon, take it where it is. And then once they got up and running and became world famous, what happened there? But it talks about what he had to do to get there, the level of integrity, level of time, passion, commitment, and these fundamental things that are a part of everything that we do. When we, for example, become immigration attorneys, we're constantly thinking about, do I know the law, that kind of stuff. That's a part of it, but you're running an office there, or you're an employee somewhere. Do you have the integrity to go in every day and give it 100%, 110%, to keep studying on the law, to how you treat your customers and your clients? Is that respectful? You want to do it? How do you treat ICE attorneys, potentially USCIS attorneys? Everything that you do as part of your general brand and your activities pays off. It has a repercussion to it, and so he pays a lot of attention to that kind of stuff to be able to develop a brand like Lululemon, which is a multi-billion-dollar brand, global brand, international brand. So these were the books, some of the books that I read. There are a couple more. I'm going to save for another video. I thought this won't get too long, but again, the Little Black Stretchy Pants are part of the Immigration Lawyer's Toolbox. I have this one, a book review of it. I would also recommend this Winning Through Intimidation. I'm going to get the guys' other books too. I'm going to look into if they're good or not. But this is another one I would recommend. It was good stories, and it really broke down the mindset. And the other ones are interesting as well. I hope this information helped. If you want to become a member of the Immigration Lawyer's Toolbox, just email me at info@immigrationlawyerstoolbox.com, and we could get you part of the program to get the daily tips, the informational material about book reviews, but also law. I have a new segment called the L1 and EB1C Corner, which we go through AEO decisions with regard to multinational transfers and multinational managers, as well as daily tips, as I mentioned, and other important material that could help bolster your law practice and take it to the next level. Hope you enjoyed this one. Until next one, have a good one.